Hello, my name is Xander from Terrytown and welcome to your Zinger 280RK. I'm going to be starting right up front here. This is going to be your power tongue jack. So you have a light just in case you do need to hook up at night, along with your up and down for your power tongue jack. Just in case this ever does electrically go out, you can peel this little tab up here, insert a tool, and you can go ahead and manually override it and start cranking this up or down. Coming right behind it to your propane tanks with your regulator. This little piece is whatever way this is pointing is going to be whatever tank is going to be drawing from. So for example, having it this way, this tank, and vice versa, this tank. And then right behind it, you can see it says, well, it doesn't say anything, but it's red right there. When you do have a steady flow of propane going through it, that will then turn clear. So for example, if it's this way, turn this on, it'll then turn clear. And then once it, of course, dies out, it's going to turn red again. And you just go ahead, flip it to the other one. Right back here, this is going to be your battery disconnect. So it has power on, power off, and remove cover. So all you do to cut the power off is, of course, turn it off like this, and to remove the cover to make it easier for the cover to be removed. Otherwise, power on, power to the inside of the camper from your battery. And of course, there's no battery right here. That's just kind of showing you the best thing for it. Otherwise, it just cuts off the battery to the inside of the camper. Moving on, here's some pass-through storage. And then back here, you're gonna have your outside shower, so you're gonna have a hot-cold line along with your shower head and hose all inside of here. Dropping down here, this is going to be your sewer system. So you're gonna have your gray tank on your right and your black tank on your left. Your black tank is going to be for your toilet and everything like that. And then the gray tank is going to be showers and sinks and stuff like that. So for example, when you do go to empty your black tank, since it is your toilet, it's gonna have solids. I do recommend doing this first. Just go ahead and grab, pull, it's gonna extend and then start to drain. What I do recommend is leaving that open when it's done and putting a pressurized hose right into here. This is going to be your black tank flush. So with that, when you put a pressurized hose in there, it just activates a small sprinkler inside the black tank to help kind of flush anything that may have gotten stuck on the way out completely out. When you're done with that, take your hose off, come back over here and push that back in. And then I recommend doing the gray tank last, just because it is the cleanest water out of the two. So when you do go to empty it, flushes, it kind of gives it one less little flush before you go ahead and take your hands, put it back under sewer hose to take it back off. Otherwise, right here, city water connection. So when you do get to a campground, this is what you're gonna wanna plug into. That's gonna be your main water source. This is going to be your camp power or shore power right here. And then just underneath here is going to be another gray tank. So this is going to be for your kitchen sink. Coming to the back side of your Zinger, right here is going to be your cable satellite right there. This is going to be the back of your refrigerator if you ever need to access it. Furnace exhaust, so when your furnace is on, all the extra heat is going to kick out of here. So for any little kids, animals, anything like that, just try to keep them away from this piece as long as the furnace is on. This is going to be your extra tire. Spare tire is going to look just like the one that's already on right now. It's not going to be some donut or some smaller tire. It's going to be the same one up front. Coming to your water heater here. Those two caps are going to be for your low point drains. Obviously there's nothing in there right now, so that's why they're just kind of camping in the corner. Otherwise, right here, this is going to be your plug. Obviously tighten that down a lot further. I'm just putting it on for visual purpose, but go ahead, tighten that down nice and tight. When you're done with that, go to the inside of your camper and turn on the hot side of your faucet. It's going to sputter for a little bit, but that's just all the air getting pushed out. So once you have a steady flow of water, go ahead and turn this on. You can use it, do what you need to do. And then when it comes time to empty it, just go ahead, pull the pressure release valve. It's going to sit there and hiss for a little bit, obviously with all the pressure being released. When it's done, go ahead, take your socket, whatever, pull this back off. This piece, set that to the side, and then all the water from your water heater is going to be drained right out of that little spout. And then when you're done, pop that down and put it right back up. Moving on to this side here, this is going to be extending and retracting your power stabilizers here. So sometimes one side goes down before the other if it gets caught like that right there. But as soon as the other side hits, now it's going to come down right with it. There, that one hits, and now this one's coming down. You're going to want to let go as soon as it starts to give pressure, then go for another maybe a half second and let go. Just like this. Just like that. Because it's not meant to lift your trailer, it's just meant to stabilize. And while we're down here, you're going to have your LP gas quick connect right there. And then your low point drains right there. So that's going to be the two lowest points in your campers when you do go to empty it for the winter. You just unscrew those caps and then the water will start to drain. So for this piece here, make sure it's open like that. And then it'll pop out. And then others, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just press, turn, just like that. And then to ignite, you can hear that igniter click when I go that way. Otherwise, to get gas through it, like I just showed you that quick connect, you just plug this piece right into there. And then if you do decide to put a TV outside, you will have cable satellite right there and 110 right there. For your fresh tank, when you open this up, this is just going to be one big tank inside your camper. So if you're going rustic camping or camping in the middle of nowhere, you'll be able to have a water source or supply while you're not hooked up to city water connection. So when this is full, you just flip the water pump on, and it's going to start to draw water from that tank. If you do have extra water after your vacation, there it is right there. The empty is going to be right there. You just pull that tab and you'll be all set. And then moving on to your steps, just make sure your door is completely open both ways when it goes in and out, just so this little piece doesn't scrape the side of your door. Otherwise, just pull this piece to the right or to the left, just to make sure that you kind of see the little metal piece there goes out from behind the frame. And then just go ahead, pull it, and bring it down. Make sure you adjust the feet accordingly to make sure that there's no gap and it's completely flush on both sides, because if it's not and you go to slam your door and it's raised up, it's going to damage the bottom of your door. Otherwise, here's the front storage compartment. The main thing with this is just going to be this little piece here. This is going to be basically just a manual override for that, along with your front cap there. Otherwise, same thing as the back. You have your extend and retract for your front stabilizer jack right there. Then that is pretty much it for the outside. Now we're going to go in. All right, now coming to the inside, this is going to be your main power panel. So starting up top here, left to right, we're gonna have all of your readers. So a battery reader, fresh tank reader, black tank, gray, and so along. Whatever button you press is gonna tell you how full it's starting to get, so you know when to empty it. Water pump, so if you do decide to fill up that fresh tank, you can go ahead and flip this water pump, and then it's going to draw water from that fresh tank and push it through your lines. You have two elements to your water heater, gas and electric. So whatever you decide, just go ahead and click that button, and then your water heater is going to start to heat up. If you're hooked up to shore power, I recommend just doing electric. Unless you don't really care about your gas, and you can do both at the same time if you like. Then coming to these three lights here, they're just going to be controlling the innards. And then down here to the left, it's going to be your slide in and out. We move it in just a tad. I'm not going to reel it in all the way, but I'm just going to reel it in a little bit so I can extend it and show you what it sounds like when it fully extends, because it does sound kind of scary. So once you hear that gear grinding noise, completely release, That's just the motor reaching its limits. If you keep going, it's eventually going to damage it, but just wait till you hear it, you'll let go. Once you have your awning in and out of here, I don't know how fully extended I'm going to be able to get it. So the main thing is when you do fully extend it, it's going to pop out the little extra flap, and then you'll be able to see the gray bar sitting on behind it. Oh, so there's the gray bar right there. You can see it right there. It's the end of the awning, so you do not want to keep reeling in, or sorry, reeling out, because if you do, then it's going to eventually, oh, right there. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before. There's the end of your awning, or the little extra flap at the end, and then the gray bar behind it. That means you're fully extended, so you do not want to keep reeling out, otherwise you'll end up reeling in the opposite way and end up breaking your awning. Moving on, down here, this is going to be a switch between AC and fireplace, just to prevent it from blowing a fuse or anything like that, breakers, whatever. This is just going to help prevent that, because obviously you don't need AC and or the fireplace at the same time, so you're able to choose. So if you want to start using the AC, flip that up, and then of course you can turn the AC here. Unless it's colder out, then you flip to the fireplace, and then you can go ahead and turn that on, but it's one or the other. Otherwise, coming to the right here, you're gonna have your fan settings, cool settings, and then heat. So whatever you decide to choose is going to be what your thermostat does, obviously. Otherwise, right here, you just choose the up and down arrows, and then that controls your temperature. Moving down here, breakers and fuses. All of your breakers are going to be labeled just like a house would be. And then for your fuses, I do recommend bringing extras just in case, but that's just a personal recommendation. You don't have to, but if you do, you can pick those up at any auto parts store. Moving into the bathroom, the main thing inside your bathroom is going to be your toilet. Just go ahead, it's just a foot flush. Going along with that, you are going to need toilet solution along with RV grade toilet paper. The toilet paper is going to help break down easier, so you can flush it and it's not going to damage your lines. And your solution is going to help break down solids and smells to once again kind of break everything down and make sure it all goes smooth. And then moving inside your bedroom, it's not really a whole lot to it. The main thing I just want to talk about is for your TV. You get a mount back in location, and then all of your inputs are going to be right here. So moving between cable and whatever are these buttons here, cable, satellite, stuff like that. And then just to the left of it is going to be your 110 outlets to make sure you get power to it. Moving on, for your sound bar, just tap to turn on. You're gonna have A and B speakers, A, which is gonna be this, B, which is your outside. And you can go ahead and do source, so if you need to do DVD, USB, Bluetooth, anything like that, that's where you switch right here. Once you got your volume, and then you have these two, which you can switch radio channels with that. Otherwise, you just tap to turn right back off. And then for your space heater here, tap to turn on. Got different colors, brightness, and then on the top right here, you can control the temperature. Moving into your kitchen area here, just gonna start off with these, your keys, main doors, baggage, call it that, main doors, and then baggage doors with these right here. Otherwise, you have your microwave, fan and light, light on. For these, you just press, turn to release the gas, and then you spark to the right, and then that'll then ignite. Same goes for all of the burners. And then for your oven, there's a small little piece in the far back right there that you're going to want to pay attention to. Keep your eye on that. You press, turn to the pilot symbol, and you sit there and start to spark. And then eventually you'll see a small flame appear right in the back there. And then once you see that flame, then go ahead and adjust to your temperature needed. And then moving to your fridge, of course, power button here. And then mode, this is going to be auto. So whatever the strongest source is going to be how it cools. So for example, auto, so that's electric, then that's LP gas. So you can choose between, and then once again, auto, like I mentioned before, it's gonna choose the strongest source. So if you're plugged in shore power, it's of course gonna take electric. If you're not plugged into shore power and have your propane on, then it's gonna say A, and then with that symbol right there. And then of course, the more snowflakes, the colder it gets. The last thing we're gonna go over is going to be your AC here. So with your AC vent, when you do have AC coming out, most people when they get to a campground first thing, just to start cooling off the main room, they go ahead and open these up. It's just going to dump straight out the bottom here. Once it starts to cool off, then what people will do is close it up, because then it's all ducted. So what I mean by that is that when this is closed, all the air is gonna start to flow out through the ceiling vents, just like that. Oh, and now the actual last thing I forgot is going to be this little carbon monoxide detector. It's going to have a small little green light on it, kind of right underneath there. Otherwise, with that, it's never going to turn off, just as a safety feature. So what I do recommend doing is if you're going to leave your camper for about 3 to 4 days, just go ahead and take the negative end off of your battery, so then that finally kills, and then you won't have to worry about that small green light draining your battery. Otherwise, that has been your orientation for your Zinger. If you do have any questions, please write them down and send them or bring them when you come to pick up your unit. Otherwise, that has been your orientation. Enjoy.